Et bien salut tout le monde, c'est Hyperactif, j'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour une nouvelle vidéo. Aujourd'hui on est le 1er août, il va être 19 h dans quelques minutes, dans une minute exactement. On va regarder les nouvelles images en direct des premiers gameplays du nouveau Call of Duty qui va arriver. Donc voilà, comme je vous ai dit, d'ici voilà 1 minute 36, le nouveau gameplay va arriver. J'espère qu'ils vont envoyer du lourd. On va voir ça tout de suite en direct là, donc on va voir ça tout de suite en direct. Comme ça, on va pouvoir ne rien louper parce que moi j'attends beaucoup de ce prochain Call of Duty. C'est quand même une grosse licence que j'attends chaque année, qui déçoit chaque année. Alors j'espère que là, ils vont se rattraper. On dit ça chaque année, je crois que tout le monde dit ça chaque année. Mais là, avec ce qu'ils nous avaient déjà montré, bah moi, ce que j'ai pu voir déjà avant, j'étais déjà bien heureux de retrouver un Call of comme ça. Donc aujourd'hui, j'attends des nouvelles images un petit peu plus boost, un peu plus, voilà, qui nous montre vraiment ce qu'on veut voir du multijoueur, et rien que du multijoueur, des armes aussi, ça serait bien qu'on voie un peu tous ces genres de choses qu'on attend de Call of Duty. Dans 45 secondes ça commence, donc il y a des fois vous allez peut-être pas m'entendre parler, hein. C'est parce qu'il va falloir que je me concentre aussi sur les images, sur tout ce que je vois. Je m'en excuse d'avance, mais je ferai de mon mieux de toute façon pour que vous avez ma réaction. De toute façon, moi, le but c'est d'avoir ma réaction directement à chaud, comme ça, je suis sûr que je ne loupe pas et que je veux absolument voir ces images. Il faut que je les voie, il faut que je voie du nouveau gameplay, même si bon, d'autres youtubeurs vont faire des vidéos dessus aussi, mais voilà. Je veux aussi, je vais profiter de pouvoir les voir en direct. Allez, 10 secondes, 10 secondes. Et ça commence. Voir un petit coup avant que ça commence. Allez, c'est parti. Ouais, du coup, je comprends pas l'anglais, je préfère le prévenir. Allez, ça commence. Bon, ça, à mon avis, ça va être l'intro du jeu quand tu vas le démarrer. Waouh. Non. Hop là, dégage. Oh là là. Moi, comme c'est beau quand même. Oh là 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 là. Oh putain. Ah ouais, c'est l'émission ça. Waouh. Enculé. Ah, les drones. Oh, ça pète de partout. Oh, bah, 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 bah. Oh, vous entendez le bruit des armes. Oh là là. Ouh. Dans ta gueule, toi. Oh, ouais. Ah, j'aime bien la musique, là. Oh, couteau dans ta gueule. Oh là 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 là. Aïe aïe aïe. Oh putain, mastodon. Oh, il va le bombarder là. Oh, énorme. Oh, le char. Énorme. Ça fait partie des nouveaux killstreaks. Ouf. Oh. Sniper. 44 Magnum. Ah. Mine. Waouh, 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 waouh. Waouh. Ouais, le 25 octobre, baby. Open beta. Le 12. Le 12. Le 12 quoi, le 12 août? comprends pas ce que tu dis, mais c'est pas grave. Ah, c'est chiant, ouais, c'est bête, mais je comprends pas ce qu'ils disent du coup. Ouais, le trailer est énorme.
There's so much action in that trailer. I'm struggling to digest. This is the first time I've actually got to watch the whole thing. That is awesome.
Il n'y a pas moyen de le mettre de sous-titres par hasard.
The card, open beta as well. I'm so excited. We've obviously played it a little bit, but now we get to actually jump in and play so much. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, our lives are going to cease to exist for a good amount of time during that beta
Non,
for
même
sure.
pas.
And then also one of the things to hit, like the beta is coming, and there's been talk
30 000 personnes qui regardent.
but that's actually going to be available for the beta, Ben.
I can't wait for that. You're going to have console to console, console to PC. Everything right at your fingertips for open beta. I couldn't be more excited.
This is going to be incredible. Now, Ben and I are going to be breaking down a lot of the action today, but we're going to have a lot of people in here with us going through it all. And to kind of start it off, we've got some of the members from the Infinity Ward team. We've got Jeffrey Smith. We've got Joe Seacott. Gentlemen, how you doing?
We're doing great. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Ça, ce qui est bête, c'est qu'on comprend pas ce qu'il dit. Bah, moi, je comprends pas ce qu'il dit. Donc,
So I want to kind of, before we get into the gameplay, we've got a lot of stuff to bring you. I kind of want to get into the basics of the philosophies behind Modern Warfare. So obviously, this was a tough task, right? You're going with one of the most famous FPS games in the history of video games, and you guys are reimagining it. Jeff, how difficult was that just to get started?
Yeah, it was a big thing to get over your head. So, just as single player, I kind of thought of it as a reimagining. We took it as kind of this mental exercise of thinking of it as making a whole new game. And kind of stripping stuff down and really questioning everything.
Donc là, à mon avis, ils vont parler pendant au moins 19h30, je crois. Et après, à 19h30, t'as un autre truc qui arrive, mais je suis pas sûr. Donc, ce qu'on va faire, pour être sûr, c'est que moi, je vais couper la vidéo là. Parce que bon, ça sert à rien que je vais pas attendre pendant une demi-heure, en sachant que je parle pas anglais, que je comprends pas. Hein, ce serait bête. Et dès qu'il y a du gameplay, bon bah je rêve de nouveau. Allez, à tout de suite, les gars. Ah oui, l'équipe, c'est de nouveau moi. On se reprend, ils sont en train de montrer une map là. Donc du coup, je reprends le gameplay.
Symmetrical layout, the brain just kind of rejects it and doesn't really feel real. So for us, it's more about freestanding buildings, kind of, and the power positions that those create. And this actually kind of is very similar to how real military moves through places.
C'est vrai que c'est magnifique. Hein.
And it's usually on a crossroad, and it has these sight lines that gives them an advantage.
Très joli.
So that's how we kind of. Kind of the backbone to all these maps, and it's really the way TDM actually would work well, because there's no really objective. But once that guy on a third story, you know, pops you, you have a goal in life, you want to go get him, and so we've really built a lot of mechanics around those freestanding buildings.
Secret TDM right there.
And do you think, I guess, you know, with this kind of the way you've been looking to design these maps, a lot of talk about the variety of gameplay you're trying to bring to this.
C'est impressionnant la qualité du nouveau graphique. Bon là, pour le moment, c'est tout ce qui monte. Donc je vais rester un petit peu encore. Et puis si je vois qu'ils continuent à reparler, j'arrêterai la vidéo et je reprendrai dès qu'ils remontent des nouvelles choses.
And that's just a completely different way to engage with Call of Duty, right? Everyone has night vision goggles, they have infrared lasers that they aim with, but anyone else in a night vision goggle set in nods can see that laser. And so you have this cat and mouse gameplay, and we've had a bunch of things in the game that really freshen up the Call of Duty experience.
I'm kind of curious just from the developer standpoint, because as fans,
bon les gars, je reprends après. Ouais, l'équipe reprend le gameplay. Là, ils sont en train de montrer un peu les classes. Je crois que c'est une youtubeuse anglaise qui est en train de parler là.
And this, I mean, obviously we have some stuff locked here, but I'm gonna roll.
Now that guy looks like a badass.
D-Day.
They all look pretty badass. I like Zane personally.
Yeah. So my two favorites, Zane.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's got a tactical poncho.
Is that what that's called?
C'est magnifique.
Before I get yelled at by Joel, it's not a cape.
It's not a cape.
It's not a cape.
Not a cape. Tactical poncho. But moving forward from operators, the actual creator class system. This is where things get really
Donc
interesting
là,
to me.
les classes,
Pick 10 is
comme à l'époque,
j'ai
l'impression très classique, très propre.
If you want to have a tactical, you always have a tactical. You always have a lethal. You're always ready for that.
Yeah, we're just trying to pick where the complexity is, and so we're not asking
Moi, je veux voir les armes.
of the player. we want them to kind of really dig into the weapon and focus on that. So.
Well, where a lot of the customizable options comes is the gunsmith, and
Wow.
Ash is going to hop in there for us. So this
Ah ouais,
is,
là
this
tu
is
mets
new,
tout là.
and
Oh
this
là
is
là là là.
wild, and this is awesome. Can you guys kind of talk to me about what is special and very cool about the new gunsmith feature?
Well, I mean, early on, we really kind of decided that, or realized that your weapon is the main character in MP, and it's what you use to interact with our world, and so we kind of just put all our chips in on this system. We had to convince the studio of this
Tout ce
crazy
qu'il rajoute, c'est
endeavor,
énorme.
and we're averaging 30 to 60 attachments per weapon.
Yeah.
The
C'est vraiment bien
30
fait.
on the pistols is a little harder to scrape twice with some with all these attachments, but you just use the weapon and they unlock.
Ouais, t'as super.
And-
Ouah.
And to clarify, for example, if you were to
Oh là 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 là.
47, right, you can change that. Like, for example, you take the stock away, all of a sudden you have the AK-74U.
Actually, you can do caliber
Magnifique.
change, short barrel, and get the AK-74U, and then you can
Waouh,
actually
waouh,
do a
waouh,
drum
waouh,
mag,
waouh.
long barrel, muzzle brake, like ACOG, and make more of an RPD. Like you can,
That's
you can
amazing.
really.
Ouah,
like,
la
the guns are
K-47.
flexible.
Well, Ashton, what
La
are your builds over
Flamas.
there? What's your go-to?
I mean, I'm an AK player, or an AR player. I mean, we do have an AK on here. So I'm just making kind of a newbie class.
Waouh.
Actually, jump to that pistol that you have on that loadout, and then go into
Pistolet.
gunsmith and then toggle it so we can rotate it around.
Waouh.
Oh, there it is.
This is the sexy shot.
Yeah.
And
Waouh,
one thing as
waouh,
well,
waouh,
most
waouh,
people
waouh,
don't
waouh,
mention
waouh.
it, Court, but you actually have perks on the guns as well now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's kind of a.
Il est
we
super
kinda
beau.
wanted a little get out of jail free card where we didn't have to put a physical attachment on everything, but you'll find a lot of like fire select stuff in there, caliber changes. And
Yeah, things that we don't want to make something up, right? Like here's this knob on the side of the gun and it does this.
Tout ce
So
qu'on
we
peut
wanted to have
rajouter,
some
c'est
things that
énorme,
were
hein.
functional that weren't represented, but everything else, all the other slots, every piece is there, and we actually built all of the functionality based on real life how it
No.
would affect the gun.
I feel like I'm going to be like Tony Stark at Destiny. The stuff that it looks like I'm going to be able to do with this, like just endless hours of customizing and finding the best setup, what you really like to use. It's sensational.
Ouais, va voir dans
stuff,
les
but
atouts.
I do want to chat then a little bit kind of about tacticals and lethals. So you mentioned when it was going away from the pick 10, one of the core things you wanted here was to make sure you had that lethal and tactical.
Alors après, t'as la
Let's start
grenade
off with the
froide, la
lethal
5-tex,
side of
molotov,
things.
clé
It
mort,
looks like mostly fan
couteau de
favorites
lancer,
from the
C4
Fall
dynamite.
series.
right.
Yeah,
I mean,
the thermite's
go
a
ahead.
new one. Yeah, the thermite's a good one because we have
C'est ça?
vehicles in the play
Une genre de
space,
10
right? You
minutes,
saw in
c'est
the
quoi?
trailer, we have that light tank and
Ouais,
like,
c'est ça.
the thermite's great. It's a fun tool.
Genre de molotov.
Like a throwing knife.
That looked painful.
Une
And
thermite.
it sticks, but it burns right through vehicles.
Et
so
la
it's a
mine de
great counter to
proximité.
that.
Try to land one on a chopper that flies by.
Yeah.
You said that with a smile, like you've done that.
You can.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Après,
Moving forward to
donc
towards
là, ça doit être quoi, là?
tacticals,
C'est la
you
grenade
have
de-
a fan favorite one here,
grenade
isn't it? The
flash.
snapshot grenade. How do you even come up with this idea of a snapshot grenade?
This was a funny story. It's actually my son got a toy. It was like a
Non.
little disco ball with a stick and two blades, and it actually will
Ouais, elle affiche
still
le joueur, en
sense the
fait.
ground and not land, so it just kind of floats there. I actually the next morning ran and kind of snuck in and did a
Ok, d'accord.
I threw
Ok,
it in,
elle
I
affiche
threw
le
it in
joueur.
Joel's office, freaked him out, and said, "Hey, let's do this." And so it actually goes in, it flies up, and kind of takes a snapshot of the room
Okay.
and does thermal imaging.
Yeah.
And this is kind of an evolution of
Oh
the
là là.
concussion grenade giving you those hit markers.
Yeah.
So it just gives you that quick read.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And then what do we have as well? Let's talk about the perks. So perks are obviously back in the game. We
Après,
talked
donc
about
t'as les
perks on weapons. This will
atouts.
be
Bon,
more
voilà,
understandable
là les
perks
atouts,
and
donc
double
PR.
talk about the new ones, 'cause there's some changes right
Ouais, les
to
atouts
the
classiques.
sprint options within Modern
Après, il y en a.
Warfare.
Putain,
So
vu
what
que c'est
double
pas
time
anglais,
does,
je peux
yeah,
pas,
that's a
j'arrive
really
pas à
big
voir ce que
change.
c'est
Double
exactement.
time. Early on, we were like, do we do unlimited sprint? Do we do
Track,
sprint
c'est
with
pour
a
voir les
cooldown?
traces, à mon
And in the
avis.
end, we ended up with unlimited sprint. Feels good. It's user friendly.
No Ghost, c'est
But
pour
we
pas,
still
à mon
wanted
avis,
that
c'est pour les
kind of
radars
tactical
peut-être.
boost, that way to get from one piece of cover to another
Pour
really,
pas
really fast.
être,
And so we added a thing
pour pas
called
apparaître
tactical
quand
sprint.
les ennemis
And
mettent
if
le
you're
radar.
moving forward and you click the stick twice, your gun actually comes up to
Bon, après,
signify
t'as
that
silence
you're
de
not
mort, à mon
engaged in
avis.
combat. You're just sprinting and allows you to move really fast for a short amount of time. And then
It's a risk
Shooter,
reward,
c'est
right?
pour
Like,
mieux
yeah,
voir, je
actually,
pense,
the
un
oh
truc
shit
comme
button.
ça.
yeah.
Un truc pour le sniper, je
Gotta
pense.
go fast. Just run away. But kind of moving forward from perks, the thing that excites me the most, kill streaks.
Yes.
They have returned
Les
for
kill
Modern
streaks.
Warfare, and there's a whole different host of them here.
La caisse.
Some of them very, very exciting. Of course, the Juggernaut we saw in the trailer.
Yes.
Qu'est-ce que je
That
reconnais,
is
hein.
badass.
Ah ouais, il y a
And I
plein de
think you
trucs,
guys
hein.
in rehearsal were telling me
Ouais, le
there's, like,
mastodon, le
music that
mastodon
plays
15
as well
kills.
when you're in the Juggernaut suit?
Yeah, so when you get the Juggernaut suit, you hear metal music in
Oh,
your
that's
ears,
just cool.
and it's just like,
That's just
it's
cool.
such a fun kill streak. You just
Faudra
your
15
moment to
kills pour
just
le
be like,
débloquer, le
F you,
mastodon.
everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's part of why I love that kill streaks were back. Like, when I get on COD, I want to go in, I want to dominate. It's about me dropping stats, dropping numbers, earning streaks, and this is one that'll be fun.
There's actually a funny thing. This actually plays in 3D space, so it'll sound like somebody's listening to like music out of headphones.
Ah
so
oui, ça le fait direct.
Hear, like, the music coming out.
That's so cool. I love that. And then the other one as well that we wanted to touch on was we saw it again in the trailer. Is like the tank.
Yeah, the light tank, the IAV.
Wow.
And this was another thing we pushed for to get kill streaks into the play space, and this is a cooperative kill streak, so one player mans
Il te donne quoi là? C'est des caisses de ravitaillement ou char? Oh, putain, c'est le char.
Okay. So you need
and some of our bigger maps you can.
Énorme.
These are only on some of the maps, and if you have it.
Bon, ça on l'avait vu au début, hein.
On a smaller map, we'll swap you out with a smaller one called a Wheelson.
Yeah.
That one's really scary.
I like the big one the best.
Yeah.
And the trailer that did some serious work.
You like to go big, Ben?
Absolutely, of course, man. You know that.
Oh, I'm gonna dominate.
Oh de Dieu.
I've got a feeling that is gonna be so fun. But all right, it's been very cool to have Ashton kind of showing us through the actual setup of it. But I'd love to actually hop into a game if we could and talk through some of the action, some of the new features within the actual game. I believe we're gonna.
Ça y est là, ils vont faire une game. Allez, c'est parti.
Well, with all this work in kind of freestanding buildings,
c'est parti.
And we'll talk about it in some mechanics. We have all these doors and stuff. Being able to defend a interior space gives us that kind of Black Hawk Down, last man standing. Because with headquarters, of course, the defending team doesn't respawn. So it's down to
Et là c'est parti là. Et là tu vas à la guerre maintenant.
Before we dive too much into the new tactics and elements in the game, can we just talk about how goddamn.
Donc là il me semble qu'elle joue contre les autres ou c'est une mission. Ah non, mon avis c'est elle joue contre les autres. Elle rush indirect, bam bam. Elle veut les kills, gros.
I mean, we use a new technique called photogrammetry, and what we do is a lot of our game is actually scan 3D scanned from real
des vrais
world
joueurs.
We go like our.
You keep bringing me closer to Tony Stark stuff every time you come up with these things.
Wow, c'est trop.
Like artists would sit in a room and they'd art a character, but now we have whole wardrobes that people wear, and like people drive along the road and they find like a burnout car and they're like, we found it, this is awesome, come here, bring it cameras.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we'll take gear and we'll actually throw it in a pool for a while, so it gets like worn and beat up, and then we'll scan it so it looks more grounded and real.
Yeah. Wow. And a lot of that did it go into, we touched on a little bit earlier, like the realistic environments. Was that part of the process?
Putain, mais elle est chaude, la meuf là. Elle les encule tous, eh.
Actually scanning real world things. We scanned old burnt out cars, these little rubble piles, and we kind of have to work that in. And it was actually a big task for the art department to kind of have this new workflow.
Hey, we got all these pictures. You guys are now having.
Après, elle bouge pas trop non plus, mais elle joue l'objectif. Hein. Voilà, là, ce qu'elle leur met. Oh là 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 là. Ah bah ouais, dommage. Oh là 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 là.
Fashion, your job's on the line here, just FYI.
Why do you put pressure on her here, Maven?
Well, I'm just letting her know she won't have a job anymore.
On the fly modifications, you can. I believe. What is it? When you die, you can actually go to where you're picking your class and modify right there and then.
Oh là là.
In the game, all in game. And
there we go, Ashton.
Fais des doubles et tout.
It will actually swap out next time you die.
Okay.
Swap out.
Il est là. Ah là 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 là. Allez, gros, elle est là, frère. Elle est là, gros. Elle pose.
I was gonna ask where that came from, kind of that idea, like where that started.
It was just we ramped up the earn rate on attachments.
Ah bah elle joue contre des bots ou quoi? C'est pas possible.
Game, and it just was this kind of cool, like I can hot swap things out.
It feels like there's just like a weapon playground now, like between the.
Ou alors c'est qu'elle joue tout simplement. Il y a des
Il
femmes qui savent très bien jouer à Call of Duty, mais.
The field upgrades.
C'est tombé comme une merde. Non, tu peux custom ta. Oh là là, tu peux custom les armes en direct. T'es sérieux quoi.
But we didn't want it to be like this kind of like I win button. Like, okay, it's super weapon clock.
I got this.
And,
I win now.
We looked for things that would help players support their team for the most part. It's not true for everything, but we have like the tactical cover.
Okay.
We have the trophy system. The tactical cover you can actually mount on with our new mount mechanic. So you can mount on the top of the cover, the side gives you a significant recoil bonus. And then we actually, at the beginning of the game, we let you have one field upgrade, right? And you start working through them, and you have that feel like we get to use it.
Ouh, dommage.
The pro functionality for that lets you bring in two.
Ah, par contre, il y a un
So in
respawn
the
ou quoi?
moment, in the match, you get to
C'est
choose
quoi?
between
C'est
these
un
two.
nouveau
It's,
mode, je
you know,
crois.
so
That's awesome.
you might have an offensive field upgrade, like say a scout drone that goes up and actually scouts for your team to
Si, il
scout
est là,
an
hein.
objective, or you might have a trophy system.
Ah,
So
mais
in the
putain.
moment, you're like, I'm in headquarters. Am I defending a point or
That's
assaulting a
awesome.
point? Let me
So
choose.
it gives you that variation
Yeah.
dependent on what's happening.
Yeah,
Yes.
and tactical insertion has returned.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's also on a cooldown in
Après,
there.
c'est dommage, on n'entend pas le son
yeah,
des armes.
different stuff.
Lovely.
Funny little trick. If your buddy, and this takes teamwork, if your
Ou
buddy
très,
puts
c'est
out
très,
a
c'est très
recon
infime.
drone, you
Avec
can
le
throw
son et tout,
C4 on
c'est
it.
dur de les capter les
Stop.
sons.
Yeah.
You can finish the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
J'aurais bien aimé entendre
No,
le son des armes.
that sounds epic. And I'm
We
gonna
have
try
to get our chemistry.
Oh no! What's going to happen is I'm going to put the C4 on, then you're going to fly it into me. and then-
Probably. Then we're both gonna die.
Well, can we talk about some of
We'll work on
some of the maybe new combat mechanics that are going to be within this? There's different stuff you talked about. I kind of want to talk about the doors a little bit because I remember the first time when I was first hearing about it because I hit up. I think I was talking to somebody at Infinity Ward. I'm like, "Can you tell me like some of the new stuff to the game?" He just looks at me and goes, "Doors." And I was
Doors.
like, "What? He's just like doors." And I was like, "All right."
Des
But
vertigueules.
it is a very new feature. It's
Ah
very
oui.
interesting and provides some kind of
Dommage,
wild
dommage.
circumstances within gunfights. Can you talk to me about the changes to doors within
T'as bien
Modern
mis une
Warfare?
balle?
Yeah, so we like early on we put doors in, right? And it let
Après, t'es
players
touché
kind of
déjà,
like
tu me
pause a
diras.
firefight. We're like, that's kind of cool, but they felt really basic. So we started to layer in kind of this experience, these new features. So
putain.
we have a peek mechanic.
Oh là 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 là! Oh là 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 là! Triple!
And then you can melee the door, go in and clear them out. And then we
Oh,
get
c'est
into
énorme.
breaching, and we're like, okay, what if explosives just open doors?
Il était
So
où?
players can either throw C4, clacker the door open,
Ah, le
they can
bâtard.
throw a grenade.
T'attendais dans le coin.
And then we had a bunch of players, you know, whining about like,
Ah, leur a mis une
it's affecting
triple.
the flow of the map.
Elle
Like,
était
this
belle,
isn't
hein.
how the map was built.
Ah là là.
So we actually allow you to sprint through
Direct.
doors. So we have this kind of like suite
Bam, elle a
of
mis, elle voulait mettre une balle à son
functionality around
coéquipier.
So you can be sneaky,
Yeah.
or you can just be loud.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
exactly.
it's actually funny on this map on SD. One of the bomb sites is in this apartment building around the corner, and you can actually stack guys up on a double door. You can put a sniper pretty far back,
Okay.
and either they can do it or you can throw the nade from
Wow.
across the map, and the concussion will open the doors. You can snipe the guy that's probably going to be camping in the
that's
back,
elite.
and everybody can
Faut
kinda
ouvrir et
go in,
fermer les
and,
portes, c'est
it's
bien
really
ça.
fun.
I like that a lot. Of course, we
Ah,
saw,
derrière toi.
Ashley knew a little bit of weapon mounting as well.
Yeah.
But it's really kind of more specific. It isn't necessarily just like leaning.
Yeah, we didn't want the kind of like head glitchy kind of scenarios you get from a
Wow.
anywhere mechanic, right? We don't want those
Les armes
silver
ont un
shots.
sacré recul quand même,
And
tu le vois, hein.
so we
Putain,
really
ça
like the
fume et
idea of
tout
putting
devant.
some
Oh là là là
on
là là
our
là là là.
surfaces. I mean, we talked to
Putain, ils
soldiers
sont allés
that
vraiment
do
pousser les
type of
détails.
gun, you want to stabilize that gun or
Sure.
Getting tired.
yeah.
Ah, ça a
Guns
rien
are
à
actually
voir.
pretty heavy.
No, there's a perfect
There you
example.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
Ashton, you're on point. Thank you, Ashton.
You've been on point. You're going
Regarde
to get to
ça.
keep your job. You've been good enough that
Ah, on en revoit un
I'm
peu.
impressed with what you've been able to do, but thank you so much for walking us through the creative class, showing us some of the combat mechanics during the game. Thank you for coming out. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Ashton.
much.
We appreciate you
One
coming
more,
through.
thing, one more thing we should also point out that
Si
is,
elle le mérite, gros, elle a fait des triples et tout.
for the past 2 years, we've always had this outline around squad mates, and it
Bah écoutez,
actually
je reviens dès
is
qu'il y a du
broken in
gameplay,
this
parce qu'à
build,
mon avis, là, ils vont
but it's
arrêter.
really
Je
important
vous dis à
for
tout de suite.
our, team.
On reprend direct. Il faut un petit peu de... Il monte un peu les accessoires des joueurs, il me semble. Voilà, c'est magnifique le son. Ah non, c'est même pas, c'est la Dark Edition. C'est ce que vous allez gagner pour ceux qui commandent le Dark Edition le 25 octobre. Et le 12 septembre, il y a la bêta.
Hello and welcome back! How awesome do we look?
I'm going to be honest.
Ben, how awesome do we look?
These are actual night vision goggles, and I need everyone
yeah.
at home to realize
When I was a kid,
these are the real thing. These work.
I wanted for Christmas for years of my life to have
Ah, il présente la Dark
goggles, and
Edition.
now,
These are amazing.
thank you so much to Joel Emsley, who
All
has
your
joined
dreams
us.
can come true now.
I have wanted these since a child, and you have made this a reality. I am so
You never have to be
excited.
afraid of the dark unless your enemies have these.
I just
Bon là je vais
Joel,
couper de
I need
nouveau
you to
parce que
realize
bon
I'm
ils vont
taking
ils
this
vont
home
juste
with
te
me.
montrer l'édition, ce qu'il va
Is
avoir
that
dans le
okay
pack.
with you?
We'll
Donc
be
là il n'y a
right
rien
back.
d'intéressant, moi ce que je veux voir c'est surtout le gameplay. On reprend du 6v6, ils sont en train de montrer de la domination là.
You
Ça
win
c'est
the game
important à
by
savoir.
having all those flags and getting all of those points. So yeah, I mean everybody knows domination, but you want to get as many flags as possible.
Well, hopefully shortly here, the guys will be loaded
Donc
up,
ça,
and
le
we've
domi,
got a lobby full.
on
We've
connaît
got
tous.
a ton of different games going on. I think we're going to be hopping kind of pod to just show off different players throughout the course of this. Jack is
Bon,
just
quoi, les points où
looking
ça va
energy
être ou
drinks
quoi?
right now, hyping
Où ils
himself
montrent la map
up.
sur laquelle
Jack, what are you saying now?
ça va se jouer.
He's just screaming.
Jack just loves you.
Whoever did the seating chart needs to be fired.
Pour l'instant, il veut pas montrer de gameplay de multijoueur. Hein.
Get him and Legion just tossed in the back. It's got to be tough too for him because he's sitting next to Doc, who is just basically better than him in every way. Doc's what, like 6'8".
He's also way taller than him.
Lean muscle.
Way tall, handsome.
Yeah, Jack's looking like Frodo-esque next to him at the desk. Well, at least they're even sitting down though. He's got 12 inches on.
He's incredibly more talented.
I thought this shouldn't be the roast of Jack.
Oh, you're
okay,
right. You're right.
Jack's a fantastic player, but let's get to the action, right? That's what everyone is here for. Let's see some multiplayer 6v6 domination. I think the map they said was going to be runner. This is a map that we had a brief little bit of games on, not one we're going to run a couple maps, but a couple of maps. It seems pretty good, Joe.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Yeah, I mean, there's some doors I know that the devs were talking about that you can interact with, a couple of different buildings with, you know, again, it's not your typical 3-lane map that we're
Bon, bah
sort of used
écoutez,
to
on
these
vient
last
juste après.
couple of years. So it's going to be
Pas très
interesting to see the
montrer
way
des
the players
images.
sort of move on the map.
Ah si, j'ai rien dit. C'est parti. C'était juste le temps que ça charge. J'ai eu peur. Je me suis dit, après il a le MSR. On dirait le MSR. Possibilité. What the fuck?
Just try to check every single angle, right? Like, you got to slow down in a game like this because those ARs are very powerful. So when you get to those power positions, just try to check every single angle and don't focus in so much on one spot.
I love that we're starting off with Shroud.
De domination.
I mean, if we can just watch Shroud all day, I'm cool with it. That does not bother me at all. The guy, you know he's going to put on a show.
No, seriously, if I had 3 wishes and everyone says like superpowers, being rich, being famous, I just want to be able to play games like Shroud for 24 hours.
Just one day.
That's one of your wishes?
Yes.
Not even just for 24 hours.
Yeah, well, okay, well, I guess you're right. That's a really dumb wish, because I guess I could just do it forever, couldn't I, Joe?
Yeah, you could.
Par contre, il y a un temps de respawn. Hein.
Well, we'll check out the actions. He's, I think, just trying to get his loadouts, trying to get his sensitivity all squares. The guys were just getting set up here as we were going through stuff with Joe and Jeff from Infinity War, but the game just looks so good, man. It was awesome hearing them kind of talk about the engines, everything that's been added to this from a lighting standpoint, from what was it? Photography?
Sounds right.
You remember? I know, what was the word? Oh, I butchered the hell out of that.
De nouveau, la sensibilité, à mon avis, pour l'instant, elle est pas encore optimale par rapport à sa sensibilité.
I'm not the best with words, man. Taking pictures of pretty much everything and putting into the game.
Ah, ce que j'aime bien, c'est la fumée qui sort des larmes. C'est vraiment super bien fait. Oh, bien joué.
For a team, but Shroud finally started to heat up. He started off with a sniper rifle, adjusted his settings, said, nah, it's not for me. Let me change things out.
Ça va, la vie revient quand même assez vite. Hein. Même si on n'a pas besoin du, même si on peut avoir le gadget, je crois, pour que la vie se réa plus vite, mais. Enfin, ça a l'air de bien jouer.
And what's cool is when I saw Shroud enter that building, there was a ledge there, and it gave him the option to mount his weapon. So now you can mount your AR, and it'll reduce that recoil, and you can kind of just lock down one lane with your AR mounted. So it's kind of a new thing they added to COD that we've never really seen before on your main AR that you can do.
I think that's going to stress really good tactical and lethal use. If you've got a
protège bien les points, les mecs.
Position like that, it's going to be bananas to deal with.
And of course, let's not forget, at any point,
voilà.
you can, hit start, go to your classes and customize it in the game. So if there's, a certain player in a certain power position you want to try and get rid of, well, you can very quickly, if you wanted to, for example, put a sniper scope on an assault rifle, turn it to single fire, and bang, right there, you still have your favorite gun.
There's just so much customization in this game, and I'm a big AR guy, especially in Modern Warfare games. I love using assault rifles, and, to change something like an M4 into a burst gun, I just think it's so amazing and awesome that you have that ability.
Well, I think one of the big things that
ça a changé de joueur, je crois. Ouais, ça a changé de joueur. Là, c'est pas le même style de jeu.
And maybe one weapon with one customization doesn't work, but you continue to make those changes. So we'll see how the players continue to work on it and see what adjustments they're making.
I think, Ben, you were pointing to me that, what was this, Freak earned by Skadoodle?
Skadoodle, he's already earned
je crois qu'il avait la K47, mais non.
Hasn't earned that yet. I am curious to see if anyone today actually earns that, because I know, Joe, your first game, you sat down and I was like, it's not Joe's team. Juggernaut first game, I was like,
Flamas. Ouais, il avait la Flamas.
I'm actually excited to see Sky when he pulls out that sniper, right? I mean, he has the nickname American Sniper for
Ah, c'est bien, ça change un peu de joueur. C'est plus fluide, là. Ça permet vraiment de voir les armes qu'il y a aussi.
picking up a couple kills. And again, I do want to reiterate, cross-platform. Even here at the multiplayer reveal, a couple guys going to be on PC, a couple guys on console.
So we just saw something cool out of Jericho. He just changed his gun to full auto as he was entering that room. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that kill, but I like the idea of going into close quarters combat and switching to the full auto and try to spray him down.
Well, the game just flipped on its head a little bit. They had a 3 cap there for a moment, which really allowed them to push out a massive lead, but quickly the red team get back in control. But we'll stick with Jericho's POV. I want to see if these streaks start to come into play. But Jericho, obviously, he has been a long-standing community member in Call of Duty since really the dawn of time, Ben.
Oh, yeah, he's been playing for a very long time. Of course, fantastic content creator as well. It's always good to see him and see what he can try and bring to the table here. But you can see
Wow. Il a mangé un turn, grand.
Well, you were the guy kind of running the gun because we were playing.
Ils sont déjà chauds. Ils sont déjà bouillants.
I'm an AR guy because I'm slow, and you were flying around smoking me. Is that what it was? The MP7 you were using?
MP5.
It was MP5. Okay.
Yeah, I think the MP5 is the weapon I had most fun with. I'll give you some tips.
Cette fois-ci, ça s'arrête plus, je crois. La domination ne s'arrête plus. Par contre, ça continue jusqu'à 200. Continue sur c'est bien.
What was the burst gun that you obliterated me with a couple times?
It was when he was.
I thought I got sniped.
Par contre, lui, Jericho, il se fait violer, j'ai l'impression. Il n'a pas encore l'habitude de prendre le jeu en main, à mon avis.
I'll kind of talk you through it, but there's a couple of weapons which I've kind of tested out, because naturally, you know, you get your hands on a new Call of Duty for the first time, like when the open beta comes out, you're going to try everything, right? Because you want to get the
Je crois qu'il l'a pas vu en face, là, il l'avait pas vu.
There's a couple of guns where I think, you know, come open beta, going to be pretty powerful.
Yeah, and you know, talking about that MP5 that Joe is using, I remember I made a class after he destroyed me with it, and I just put every single attachment on my gun that would make me move faster, and it just felt amazing on the map being able to move so quick with that submachine gun.
That's a choice as well, but we didn't really touch on it when we were talking about the kind of customization that you can go through. But there's a lot of pros and cons to pretty much everything. If you're going to get
on voit
a little bit of help with vertical recoil,
on voit les armes, hein. Waouh.
Maybe it's ADS time, maybe it's movement speed.
Il y a une grande amélioration qui a été faite, ça se voit.
I think he said it in rehearsals yesterday, but I was talking to Jeff at Infinity Ward.
J'ai l'impression que quand tu contrôles l'arme, c'est devenu légèrement plus dur, beaucoup plus réaliste. Et donc du coup beaucoup plus dur.
You always have that kind of give or take with certain armor pieces that you would use in other games. And yeah, I was going through it and I was looking at the different stocks and different programs. I'm like, all right, well, if I do this, I have to, so I sprint slower, but I zoom in faster. And if I do this, I was going through it. I thought, it's awesome, just the amount of potential there is for variety.
Well, we're just so used to, like, you know, what does a grip do, right? It reduces recoil, lets you aim in a little bit quicker, but as you say, there's different stocks now that might help you know, zoom in a little bit quicker, but it'll slow you down. There's all these different options. It'll just be so fun when this game releases at beta, like how players want to play with each weapon.
Yeah, there was like a stock, and it's like if you want to reduce idle sway, like you're gonna be slow, and it just makes a lot of sense.
Mon arme favorite d'MW3. Elle est de retour. Ouf. Donc lui, il a pris tout pour la vie, lui. Dommage.
And again, I think one of the keys, just to kind of reiterate, is you're going to come into those situations in a game, right? You create your class and you think, oh, I wish I'd, you know, could maybe be a little bit quicker. Change it in the game. It's as
Quoi, tu peux prendre des munitions, quoi.
Tu
peux monter.
Well, yeah, but either way, you know, if you know what you want to change, it's, you know, relatively simple to do so.
TP's going off right now. Did you guys see that?
So what are his
Ah, ça doit pas être évident.
I just can't play
Ça change totalement de Call of quand même. Ça n'a rien à voir avec les anciens quand même. Réaliste. Je pense que le maniement et tout, on va devoir s'adapter. Hein. Voilà, MP7 bouge pas trop non plus. Ouh, joli.
For the Call of Duty World League, but on the side, I am TP's full-time bait.
Right.
And he's a completely selfish player, and he's likely allowing the other 5 members to run in front of him.
C'est beau, c'est beau, c'est beau. Oh là là là.
What's funny about that? He spent his entire career player. So when he stopped playing, he's like, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. I'm gonna have some fun. So he just baits you every day.
Un peu loin là, je trouve.
He was the guy sprinting in first for a decade. He deserves a little time to dominate. But not surprised to see TP doing well, since he is one of the greatest Call of Duty players of all time.
Call of Duty World Champion.
Jack, why are you looking at me and not at the screen, dude? You getting smoked?
He doesn't know what you're saying.
He looks frustrated.
I think he knew what you were saying.
Yes, I think he's hungry.
La map est assez grande, j'ai l'impression quand même.
What's the score? 157, 124.
Yeah, it's a very close
tight one. Tight one early.
This is good.
Have you guys seen any guns like that maybe you didn't try out yesterday and we got to play that have blown you
this
away?
One,
this one right
MP7,
here.
I was actually very curious. I think I tried it for like 1 life and didn't like it, but low recoil, but a submachine gun, you're very quick with it. And speaking of TP, and T gets that field upgrade if he wants to use it, but just protect and see. He knows that they're very close from winning this game.
T just kind of going back to his inner competitive self.
Always.
Oh, look at his face, dude. He is dialed in.
See how
well, that's what
that video was.
So, I think
for
some of these guys, so we had what a lot of the YouTubers that came in the other day to get content and play the game again. For some of the streamers, I think it's their first time hands-on. So if you see them earn some streaks, maybe some field upgrades, and not bring them into play yet, I think they're all kind of learning. It's just their first time through. So I'm sure we'll see a lot more. Now we'll see, I think, a cruise missile just.
Ah, dommage.
But Skadoodle.
C'est bien tenté.
One thing we haven't seen yet.
Oh.
Eliminations.
C'est quoi ça? On dirait un peu le modèle comme ça, le modèle de l'époque.
It's embarrassing. Somebody's got to do it. Wait, Myth is on a 5 streak? That's just what popped up at the top right?
I think so.
Oh yeah, Myth, he's right in front of me. He is, dude, look how fast his fingers are moving. This guy's turned.
I've never seen anybody's hands move that quick.
Doug's behind him, just having a great time watching him.
Doug's like mind blown.
I'm mind blown.
That's
Ouh là 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 là.
Skadoodle shuts him down.
Il l'a pas touché.
185, 147. Be coming to an end relatively soon, but for the most part, it looks as if the blue team should be able to secure the W.
Whatever he's gonna call it.
Dommage.
He's got that cruise missile.
Oh, Myth just called it a cluster strike, so somebody's probably about to get pounded.
There it goes. Didn't actually kill anyone.
Okay, so I take it back. No one was actually hit.
Ooh.
What were they talking about? I believe, again, I think this was talked about yesterday when you and I were just sitting down with the devs, but some of the kill streaks that are in, right, you have to actually have a line of sight to use them. So it's not like, think of like our current game where you have the Hellstorm, you have the Lightning Strike.
Là, ils ont gagné de toute façon.
Some of the kill streaks now, you have to have line of sight on enemy to actually
Oh là là.
Yeah, that was
so I think it's interesting because you need to get to that, like, power position. It's not, you're not supposed to call it off spawn. Like you have to get to like a good angle.
Yeah, basically have like a laser target that you need to just kind of put your laser out and be like, all right, this is where I want to drop my.
Oh, all right, team. I think you got a hit marker there.
Oh.
Oh, it is team.
Oh, it is. He knows. All right, Mr. Polchow.
I think Stroud also had the same.
Wow.
Yeah. Teep said, you know,
Victory.
I'm taking you down.
Cole, did he roll?
Close game, man.
Ils sont chauds. Alors je sais pas s'ils vont présenter d'autres images, en tout cas moi je vais m'arrêter là, parce que bon, après la vidéo va durer, elle va durer 50 minutes. Je pense qu'on a fait le tour un peu, après les autres modes ça va pas changer, les armes seront les mêmes, à part en 2v2 où là c'est autre chose. En tout cas j'espère que la vidéo vous aura plu. N'oubliez pas que la bêta elle sera disponible à partir du 12 septembre sur PS4. Et puis voilà, on aura pu au moins évaluer un peu des nouveautés, les armes, un peu de map, un peu de gameplay de la campagne, etc. Moi je vous dis à bientôt, ciao ciao.